Let's deal with this moving goalpost narrative head on. First, the old story was black women out-earn black men. That lie was pushed for years until the numbers shut it down. In 2024, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported that black men earned $1,002 per week, $52,104 annually, and black women earned $922 per week and $47,944 annually. That's an $80 weekly gap in favor of black men, and over a $4,000 gap annually. So let's go ahead and put it to rest. Black women do not out-earn black men. That narrative is finished. So what is the new narrative? Black men don't earn enough money to be considered head of the household.
And they also can't compete in their households because even though currently they are making more than black women, not enough to be considered. The gap in income between a black woman and a black man isn't enough for him to get the label of primary breadwinner. And he also feels like he can't sustain his household because even though he might be making more than his wife, the gap isn't big enough for him to say, I am the primary breadwinner for my family.
But let me ask you, what is considered enough? Enough compared to who? Nobody ever defines that. Black men earn more than Hispanic men, yet Hispanic men marry at higher rates. If income was a deciding factor, Hispanic men would be the least married, but they're not. Census data shows that black men outperform black women in 9 of the 12 categories tied to marriage readiness. Less student loan debt, fewer single parents, higher median earnings, more 100K earners, lower obesity rates, more business ownership, and higher marriage rates. That's not enough. That's stronger positioning.
Argument. There are almost 2 million more black women than black men, so of course black men will be married at a higher rate. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, there are about 2 million more black women than black men. However, this argument oversimplifies the marriage gap. In marriage, lifestyle choices and relationship history matter. Some women simply do not want marriage, while others disqualify themselves from the marriage market through their behavior, outlook, or unrealistic standards. Some black women also prefer non-black partners. A significant number are interested in marrying outside their race. For these women, their primary goal is not necessarily to marry a black man. Not every woman is seeking marriage at all. Pew Research has shown that black men express a stronger desire for marriage than black women, especially as they age. This means the marriage gap is not just about numbers, it's about demand, expectations, and compatibility.
But let's talk marriage facts. In 2023, Pew Research found that 36% of black men were married. 29% of black women were married. That's a 7-point gap, the largest between men and women of any racial group. In divorce, 25% of black women were divorced, separated, or widowed, as opposed to black men's 15%. So to put it in simple raw terms, there are over 610,000 more married black men than black women in the US. There are over 500,000 more never married black women than black men. So who really isn't marrying who? The numbers say black men are marrying more than black women. We're not gonna stop there. Let's dig a little deeper. Pause. Black women file for divorce at the highest rate in America. That's why black women hold the highest divorce rate among all gender groups, and black men hold the highest divorce rate among men. But let's be clear, black men's high divorce rate isn't because they're unfit partners, it's because they overwhelmingly marry black women, who initiate divorce more than any other group. Despite this, 79% of black men still marry black women. That's loyalty, even if you call it an ignorance of loyalty. Black men commit to their women even knowing the risk. The data proves it. And before we move forward, let's revisit the head of household idea. Let's update it. Pew Research reports that in 74% of marriages, the wife works full-time or part-time. Almost 1 in 5 stay-at-home parents are now fathers. The modern marriage is built on cooperation, not on one partner carrying the entire financial load. And those numbers are for all races, to include white men and women. Successful marriages in 2025 often look egalitarian, with husbands and wives both contributing around $60,000 each. However, the man tends to make $2,000 more. The old sole provider model is no longer the dominant reality, especially in today's economy. So in conclusion, black men are not financially failing. They out-earn black women on average, produce more 6-figure earners, and lead in key stability metrics. Black men are not avoiding marriage. They marry at higher rates than black women and overwhelmingly choose black women even with higher divorce risk. The problem is not that black men don't earn enough. The problem is that black women have the lowest marriage rates, the highest divorce rates, and file for divorce the most. The excuses are over. Not incarceration, not education, not population imbalance, not income. The numbers prove the truth. Black men are loyal, marriage-minded, and marriage-ready. The question is whether black women will step up, address marriageability, and meet that loyalty with stability. Because the men, your black men, are already showing up. Peace.